What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconero Zone for a match reaction. And we lost. We lost against Udinese. Actually, not even surprised anymore. We should have won this game because we are playing against a relegation side. But there's no surprise because that's who we are. And when we were winning games and everybody was crying in the comments, saying, "I'll be positive. We're winning. We're picking up points." Here we go. You know, here we go, because this was just around the corner. When we didn't beat Empoli, I said bad things are coming our way because I saw something in that game that was just ready to explode, and now it's exploding. 1 point against two relegation side at home, and actually we deserved nothing more than 1 point in those games. We deserved absolutely nothing. We were rubbish today. We were rubbish against Empoli. We were embarrassing against Inter, and this is it. Season is over. I don't care where we finish. Just scrape top four at this point. You're 14 points ahead. I don't know, like whatever it is. Just scrape top four and somehow shit house your way to win a Coppa Italia, and then make the change in the summer, because this is not the way forward. If anyone still believes this is the way forward, then you absolutely do not respect this club. It is as simple as that. Because there's no improvement. Forget about the points. Just forget about the freaking points for once, because you cannot look at the points. We're gonna finish, I don't know how many points behind Inter. Forget about the points. There is no improvement on the pitch. It's rubbish. It's been rubbish all season. We've been winning games, but we are rubbish. We have nothing going on. We don't have a style of play. Our style of play is actually a style of play you would expect from a mid-table team. We're picking up more points than the other because we have more quality than mid-table teams. Other than that, we have no identity. We have no idea. When something doesn't go our way, we look like this. And when we don't get that last-minute winner against very poor sides, we look like this. But yeah, before I get into it completely, like the video and subscribe to the channel, but especially like this video. At least one good thing this evening, and let's jump straight into the reaction. By the way, I'm gonna skip the ratings. I'm gonna put out a different video today. I'm gonna talk about players now as well, because there are a lot of things to talk about players. First off, the lineup. I don't even know how to put it in very nice words. If you would start Milik, you're a disgrace as a coach at this moment in time. It's as simple as that. He cost you the game against Empoli. You made that decision to bench Yildiz, and you bench him again today, and this is what you get from Yildiz. Rubbish player. Absolutely rubbish, and I cannot believe that I need to say these things when he gets compared to Vlahovic. Stop doing that. Like, absolutely stop doing that. Every time Vlahovic comes up, it's play Milik. If you think Milik is better than Vlahovic, you deserve what happened today. He's a rubbish footballer. It's as simple as that. If he doesn't get into the box service, he's absolutely useless. And he shouldn't be starting games, but here we go, he is starting games. After that Empoli game, it should be done. You should not be in the starting 11. You made the decision to bench Yildiz in that game. That was a wrong decision. You do that again today, and that's what you got. You get a 0 out of 10 performance, because that was abysmal. From start to finish, he was poor. Again, a decision made by a coach. On Alexandro, I'm not even going to complain about Alexandro. He's not a footballer anymore, but he doesn't pick himself. That's Allegri, and shocker, he cost you a goal again. Big surprise, I guess. Not really. And there are actually people still going out there and saying that Sandro adds something to this team. He adds misery to this team. He adds mistakes. He adds banter. He adds goals for the opponent to this team. That's the only thing he adds. But that being said, I'm done about ranting about Sandro, because it's Allegri who picks him when Rugani was having a very good season and he's not getting a sniff in the starting 11 now for a player who's gone at the end of the summer. That's on Allegri and nobody else. Alexandro doesn't pick himself, but he was rubbish again. Gatti, if an offer comes in, let him go. Unless he is willing to be fifth option, but we don't have the money in this situation, you sell these type of players. They're not good enough. They're just not good enough. Period. Now, on the game itself, we created a nothing. You know, we had the header from Milik, and he headed it straight to the goalkeeper. If that was Vlahovic, everybody was having a rant on Vlahovic now. But I'm not gonna do that because you know what? That happens as a striker. You have a chance, you don't put them all away, but you know that's it. You know, I'm not gonna talk about a pen because that was not a pen, and I'm not gonna do that because we need to stop doing that. You know, we're not some other fan base. Like it is what it is. That was not the reason why we didn't win today or pick up a point against the relegations. Like Udinese are a garbage team. You know, if anyone watched that game and thinks Udinese are good, you're crazy. They're rubbish. They're not a good team. They're down there for a good reason. They won 3 games this year. By the way, this is the first win they have in 2024. And you're telling me I need to respect these teams? You know, they deserve more points. They were rubbish again today. They did nothing. They were poor. They were absolutely poor. But we topped that. Like, we topped that. When I talk about McKennie and Rabiot and all these players, and I'm like, change something in the formation. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. These players are not good enough with 3 in that midfield. It's not good enough. You're not gonna dominate midfields. You're not gonna play attacking football. You just choose to play this type of football. You can change things, but you're not willing to do that. You move to a double pivot. I don't care. You bench one on Rabiot or McKennie. Choose your poison at this point because they're both rubbish on the ball. They're both bad footballers in possession. They do not create anything. They slow down play, and that's what it is. But that's all on decision making. That's Allegri making those decisions. That's not the players. The players are limited, but you do not help him out, and that's what you get. We signed Alcaraz for what reason? Like, somebody needs to tell me, why did we sign Alcaraz if you're not going to give him a single minute in this game? Then he brings on Ilic Jr., sticks him on the right. What was that about? He brings in Yildiz. He lets him play the first 10 minutes at midfield, basically. What's that about as well? He starts a second half. He switches to a 4-3-3. He pushes Cambiaso up instead of just making the subs and play a 4-3-3 if that's what you want to do. Like, it's actually embarrassing at this point. It is embarrassing. It is. And if he comes out tonight and talks about top 4, I'm actually gonna lose it. If he actually talks about Juntili came with that crap before the game already. Stop talking about that rubbish. It's actually enough. Now it's time to stop doing it. Like, it's absolutely done. Talking about top 4 for a club being Juve when being 14 points clear of the place of the team sitting in 5th. And we are talking about top 4. Let that sink in. It's mid-February and we are talking about top 4 when you're 14 points clear. That's the rubbish mindset that's creeping into this side now. And that match kicked off and I was like, this is going to be a long day. The moment we conceded, I was like, it's done. We're not going to win this game anymore. It's done. There was no intensity. There was no belief. There was no desire. It's done. They look deflated. They look completely out of the ideas. What did we actually watch in that second half? You tell me. What did you see in the second half? You're like, man, that's something we can build on in the next couple of seasons. Absolutely nothing. And that's going on all season long. But people keep just looking at those freaking points and are saying, we're doing better than last season. We're picking up the points. Use your eyes. Use your eyes. We are building nothing for the future. Nothing. There's nothing to build on this. The idea, the style of play is not sustainable to compete long term. Even if you add more quality in that team, the identity, the style of play, the mindset needs to change. You're not going to dominate playing like that. With that mindset, absolutely not. I see Bologna play better football with worse players. And yes, they don't pick up the points we do. You know what? Because they have worse players. However, they're overperforming. They play something that is sustainable if Monta, obviously, if the coach stays and they improve and they add, more depth. They will improve because what they do is sustainable. What we do is not sustainable. Today, Chiesa was rubbish. He was forcing it. But if Chiesa wasn't going to force it, nothing was going to happen. Absolutely nothing was going to happen. Yildiz come on. He needed to force it. because absolutely nothing, like there's no patterns of play, there's absolutely nothing. It's slow, it's extremely slow, it's so controlled to a level that you look at it and you're like, what are we actually like? What is actually the game plan? What is the game? We don't penetrate the middle. We just put it out wide, try to cross it in, and whatever. It's not acceptable. I don't care what people say. This squad has enough quality to play completely different. And I'm not saying champagne football, by the way, because you don't need to you don't need to change a lot to do better than what we're seeing now. Rabiot, 9 million euros a season, and I need to sit here and say yes. For what? Like somebody tell me for what? What is the reason we should keep a player like Rabiot in that team for 9 million euros a season? Absolutely madness. But yeah, no surprise. What is it? 7 points now Inter with a game in hand, and that escalated in 1 week. 1 point out of 6 at home against relegation side. It's done. Just like I said, scrape it. It's back to last season vibe. Just scrape to top 4. Pray the season ends really quickly, and let's see what you can do in the Coppa Italia and just move it on, because this is not sustainable. Like I was saying weeks ago, months ago, when we were winning games, this is just not good enough, period. And I don't want to hear about, oh, Milik is better than Vlahovic, like absolutely rubbish discussions we need to have when the main point is obvious and clear. And we are sitting here debating about playing Milik over Vlahovic, which is absolutely craziness in itself, by the way. But these are discussions we are having when the big discussion is extremely obvious, and it was a full display today and even previous weeks. But previous weeks, we won games, we got away with it. Today and against Empoli, we failed. Against Inter, we failed. And now it's very clear. I hope so. But that's my reaction. Let me know in the comments what you think. My energy is kind of gone already for this season. It is what it is. But let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow live.